right, ladies and gents, we're moving on to first time really, something new in grade 10, okay? For the first time anyway, in factorization. So what we're going to look at trinomials, but complex one, okay? So we can look at a trinomial like this, 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. By the way, we are in page 19, exercise 9. Now, what's the issue with this trinomial, okay? We've got a number in front of the x squared. But then you say, hang on, so you just told us, just get a factor out. But is there a common factor? 3, 4, they don't have a common factor. Okay, so there's nothing I can take out. So I can't use the OR technique. Okay, let's have a look again at the OR technique. When we just had x squared, what did we have to do? We said, okay, x and x. Okay. And then we looked at two numbers. We looked at two numbers that will multiply to 28. Okay. So we're looking for two numbers that will multiply to 28. And if we add them, we will get 11. So you start thinking about the factors of 28. 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 4 and 7. And then choose the one that will add up to 11. So it's easy to see it's 4 and 7. Okay? 4 times 7, 28. 4 plus 7 is 11. So it's plus 4 plus 7. This is a very similar thing, but we've got an extra stage. So what we're going to do now, we're going to look at two numbers that multiply not to the last number, but to the last number times the first number. So we're going to look at, this is your 1 times 3. Okay? We can write it down. Hopefully that's not going to confuse you, but ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay? A could be a number, b could be a number, and c could be a number. And what we're going to look at two numbers that multiply to a times c. So in this case, 3 times 1. In other words, 3. We're looking for two factors of 3 that will then add up to 4. It's very similar, isn't it? Okay, so factors of 3. Okay? Factors of 3 could be 3 times 1, and that's it really. 3 times 1 and 1 times 3. Okay? And 3 plus 1 is indeed 4. So we already know these two numbers. These are the two numbers we choose. But, this is the big but, I can't just put these two numbers here. If I write down x plus 3, x plus 1, like I did here, I will get lots of problems. For one problem is that x times x is x squared, not 3x squared. So I can't do that. What I need to do is, yes, identify these two numbers, the 3 and the 1, and check out what I'm going to do now. I'm going to write the first term like this, 3x squared, plus, I'm going to split the 4x into 3x and 1x, just x. So I'm going to split that into 3x plus 1x. And the 1 I will leave as it is. Okay? So, the first stage, that's the first stage. First stage, I might split that middle term into two separate terms that will obviously add up to what it's supposed to be. I can't add up 3x and 2x because that's not going to add to 4x. You need to have two x terms that will add up to 4x. But if you multiply the 3 times 1, it must be equal to 3 times. It must be equal to the a times the c. Okay? I know it's a bit tricky. This is very tricky. Okay. The second stage, I need to now do grouping. Remember we did grouping last year. So I'm going to group those two together and those two together. What's the common factor here? Common factor is 3x. And then that will be x plus 1 plus x plus 1. Now I'm going to put brackets here. There was nothing I had to do here. I'll put brackets. I don't have to, but just to see it better. So I've grouped it, and now I'll group it again. Okay, I can see these two terms are the same. So x plus 1, that's the common factor. And then I need to multiply the first x plus 1 by 3x. So 3x times x plus 1. Plus, well, I already have x plus 1. X plus 1 times what will be x plus 1? Just 1. And that's it. That's it. Okay? We can, just to try it out, x plus 1 3x plus 1. Just see if it works. Let's open it up. 3x times x is 3x squared, which is already quite good. X plus 1 plus x. 3x times 1 plus 3x plus 1 times 1, 1. That's equal to 3x squared plus 4x plus 1, and we got what we wanted. Now, we don't need to do that. That was just to show you that this is the right answer, because what we want really is to factorize. Okay? So I know it's difficult, guys. Not everyone gets that, but we try our best. The stages are, first of all, to split them, write the first and the last term as it is, then split that term into two different x's, that if you multiply them together, the 3 and the 1, you will get the multiplication of the first and the second number. Then you group them once, you group them again, and you got it. Okay? Let's do one more example. Okay, so we're going to solve two more problems, and hopefully then you'll get it. Right, so we've got this bit, 2x squared minus 7x plus 6. First thing I see that there is no 1 here. I have to look, can I factor something out? Nothing, 2, 7, 6, I can't factor out anything. Okay, so then I need to split. I'm going to write 2x squared, and I'll write plus 6. I'm keeping these two terms the same, and the minus 7 I will split. I will split it into two different things that if I add them together, it must get to minus 7. And if I time them together, they must equal to the first number times the second number. Okay? So A times C. That's what the name of the game. I'm looking for the first term times the second term. In this case, it's 12. Okay? So I need to look at factors of 12. Factors of 12 that will add up to minus 7. Okay? 3 and 4, isn't it? Okay, so it's going to be minus 3x minus 4x. Okay? Check this again. Minus 3x minus 4x will definitely give us minus 7x, which it should. And minus 3 times minus 4 will give us 12. Okay? So that's the first step. Okay? We split. Second step, we group. Okay? So I'm going to have 2x minus 3x, so I can get x out, 2x minus 3, and then group this one as well. Last time we didn't really have to group the second bit because it was already done for us, but now we need to group. So it's going to be plus, or let's say minus 2. Minus 2 is a common factor, right? Minus 2. So that's going to be 2x minus 3. Okay? Now, the thing about the second stage, you will get a bracket here and you'll get a bracket there, and it always have to be the same. If it's not the same, if you get something else, then you did something wrong. Okay? Because if it's not the same, I can't carry on. Okay? So that's the first and that's the second stage. And then the third stage, I'll write it down here, group again. Okay? Or take a factor out. Okay? So take a factorize or factor out. Okay? So now I've got the 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, and then I have x minus 2. And that's the end of it. Okay? Let's do it again with something else. Ah, hang on. Here, that's a little bit, yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you did this. So here, before I go too enthusiastic and I start splitting 10x to whatever, there's something we can do. Can you see what we can do? Yes, well done. We can take a factor out. So 4, 10, and 6, I can take 2 out. So that will be 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. All right? Now, when I do that, I have smaller numbers, which is much easier to work with. Okay? So now I'll put the 2 out there. Don't forget it. And I'll start working on that one. So I'm going to write 2x squared minus 3. That's the first stage. I need to split. I need to split the 5 into two numbers that will add up to 5, obviously, and multiply to give minus 6. So what's the factors of let's forget minus 6, factors of 6 that will add up to 5? 1 and 6, well, it could be 6 minus 1, but 6 minus 1 will work actually. Yeah, 6 minus 1. Yeah. So it's going to be plus 6x minus x. Okay? So let's check that. 6x minus x gives you 5x. That's good. And 6 times minus 1 will give you minus 6. Don't forget, we're multiplying the a times the c. They don't multiply to give you minus 3. They give you, when you multiply them, they give you minus 3 times 2. In other words, minus 6. So that's the first stage. Now we need to group, but we keep the 2 outside. We're not forgetting it. Okay? We group that together and that together. 2x squared plus 6x. Factor out is 2. Okay? Turn that into a square bracket. X plus 3. Sorry, it should be 2x. Yeah, there's 2x that I can get out. So it's x plus 3. And then I can do minus, and check that out. If I do a minus here, minus x minus 3 is the same as minus in brackets x plus 3. Okay? Because remember, we want to have the same brackets. If I didn't write that bracket, if I just wrote it as minus x minus 3, then I can't really see the common factor. So minus x minus 3 is the same as minus, open brackets, x plus 3. Okay? Can you see that? Okay, now I'll get the 2 out. Okay, and now I can see the common factor. Take out the common factor, x plus 3. And now multiply it by 2x minus 1. And that's it. That's fully factorized. Okay, I'll leave it here. I'll make another separate video for a little bit more of a difficult kind of situation.